Funnier than Gretzky with Damon and Dan. Damon and Dan. Damon and Dan. Funnier than Gretzky with Damon and Dan.
All right, you're listening to Funnier and Gretzky with Damon and Dan. I'm Dan Quinn.
I'm Damon Schroeder.
Not sure. You never know. Like I'd like to see like all your intros from the past like 70 episodes. It'd be like a Kramer entrance every time. We never know what we're gonna get.
Never the same thing.
Never the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Mine is like consistent. He mixes it up. More original, I guess.
You do that every time?
I kind of start with that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dance there. Oh, that's Lachlan Patterson. He's back.
Back, return
After
guest.
a year.
He's had quite a good year.
Yeah. Well, it's no Rodman year, but
He had the third best year out of a comic could have.
Oh, man. Second, maybe.
Extra
second
time for
maybe.
second.
We don't even know. We don't know.
I'll never know.
It's unknown.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They didn't even give me a number.
A medal. Like at least you know, like a. There was just one belt in the end, huh?
It was just
Just
one
a belt. Like
Rodman has it. He's wearing it around. He's showing it off to everybody.
Yeah.
Like an Intercontinental Championship belt in the WWF back. Well, there was 3 belts back then, so no, not even.
His Twitter handle says champion. Rodman says champion from Last Comic Standing. I'm just assuming.
He's not even the best known Rodman. There's Dennis Rodman's way better known than him. He's second fiddle to his own name.
You wanna be tops on your Google search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in Rodman.
Well, I don't think I am. I'm behind a rapist.
Are you
That's
really?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, behind Dan Quinn, the hockey player.
Yeah.
I think still. If I do anything in my career, I could move ahead of him. It's not that high a level to reach. He only played a couple years with the Penguins, and then him and Mario Lemieux.
Well, you better get on it. You're trailing a rapist bum of a hockey player. You're telling us you can't top that.
And based on my projection so far, it's not looking good to ever pass him.
Really?
At best, I might get middle, and maybe I might equal.
This is a show, by the way, that I've pitched around LA, and it's fucking great. You find your name doppelganger, and you challenge them to a battle for name recognition.
And who was your name doppelganger?
Mine's a celebrity chef. His name's Lachlan Patterson. He's been on Top Chef, and he's been on Martha Stewart, and he has a restaurant in Colorado.
All right.
So you've got Last Comic Standing. That aired a lot more than Top Chef. How many episodes did he make of Top Chef?
Well, I mean, he's a celebrity chef. You know, there's kind of that.
He's already a celebrity.
But he's technically as much, maybe as Dan Quinn. The other Dan Quinn, he's probably, 2 comedians. This guy plays hockey.
No, but I think you could
Remember
challenge
Dan Quinn?
You should.
Played for the Penguins, Canucks, St. Louis Blues, Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
He was captain of the Vancouver Canucks when we were like 12.
Are you top on the Google
Not
search?
Pat Quinn.
Nope, Dan
Rest in
Quinn.
peace.
Oh, Lachlan Patterson. Didn't even have to type it all the way in. You're number 1. You're the top 4, 5, 6.
That's on your computer because you're always Googling Lachlan Patterson and directed it to there.
If
You just take a stranger's computer.
You've been all over my computer. You've been all over my shit.
He was
over.
checking on you weekly.
Yeah.
Let's see what this Lachlan Patterson's up to.
What he's up to.
Yeah.
What he's up to. Watched when you passed me, and then.
Yeah, I don't, there's nobody for me to doppelgang.
Wow, dude.
You look up Damon Schroeder.
The one and only Damon Schroeder.
It's not there.
There's not so many Damons, much less Schroeders.
It's funny that somewhere they were doing like a baby search guide. I think it was Christie's fan. Someone was looking up baby names. They had some baby names thing, and they decided to punch in like, oh, let's see if there's Damon in there. And there was, but it said it gave a couple of it. It's like on all of them it had like celebrities. So if you looked up Lachlan Patterson, so for Damon it just said Damon Schroeder, comedian. I was the only one listed. I don't know where it found that, but I'm listed in the.
You're in the baby
known
names.
personalities baby name. I'm the only guy with the known baby names.
You're the
for
only
Damon.
one selling that name.
Yeah. Well, there was a few other Damons listed, but they were all like, they're all black guys. Everyone thinks I'm a black guy until I get there.
What about the Schroeder part?
That throws them off. There's a lot many black Germans out there
not.
just doing God's good work.
Yeah.
If you moved to Hollywood, I would hope you would call yourself Shredder, Damon Shredder, right? You gotta do.
I'd have to go to Slater. It's a family backup name.
Damon Slater.
Yeah, that's what the uncles then would change Schroeder to
I bet
Slater
there's no
back
other
in the day.
Damon Slaters on IMDb either.
Yeah, but there's Christian Slater and guys. It's already
Look
done.
up Damon Slater.
Yeah, look up Damon.
And no DE at the end. A lot of people don't know your name ends with DE.
Okay.
The DE.
I'll just put Slater.
Yeah.
You put Damon Slater?
Without, sorry, just Damon without the.
Yeah,
there's a
guy.
Facebook guy, Damon, Damon. Junior. Most of them are black. You're right. There's one guy who looks like a mugshot. The white dude. The white dude is got a mugshot. The rest are all black guys.
Well, there's the black and white picture where I'm wearing some big goggle glasses that I had sent to some club, and I got there like, man, we thought you were a black guy for sure. Look at your pictures, black and white. They thought of. Yeah, they saw the name Damon. Sure, they thought of as.
But there's no Damon Schroeder.
No,
as they like to call you.
No,
Damon.
except in the baby book for known celebrities.
Or Damon Slater.
So I'm at the top. I beat all doppelgangers. There's not even a doppelganger for me to fight.
Nothing.
Well, we couldn't have you on the show then.
No, I wouldn't make it. I could just be like a cameraman. Probably I could film it.
They said this is what Google told me when I type in Damon Slater.
Did you mean
Amanda Slater, Raymond Slater, or Edmund Slater?
Edmund
Slater? I think that's your name.
Edmund's not bad. Well, Ed Nomad's my.
That'd be cool. A separate one is Damon Schroeder just doesn't like his name, and he just picks another guy like Edmund Slater, and he's like, I want to challenge Edmund Slater for his name.
You and me are going, Edmund. Winner takes that name.
I think you should challenge. There should be like a judges panel of who done. You versus a celebrity chef would be an interesting one. I think you could both have good points.
Maybe he has to do stand up, and I have to run his restaurant for a night.
Yeah.
Or we just literally go
or maybe
hand-to-hand combat.
You help, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay, like write some jokes and rants.
And he goes up,
he goes up, does his thing, and then he helps a comic cook something, and he goes on and tries to make it. He helps Bill Cosby cook up some of those burritos he likes to eat in front of the girls in the back room.
Before he rapes them?
Yeah, that Thai food he made him is make him eat the Thai noodles.
He leaves a little space for drugs. You could slip in your.
Bill Cosby eats the Thai noodles in front of the girls at the Letterman in the green room, right?
Is that true?
Yeah, he was making
some sort of curry.
Part of his deal was he'd watch him eat his curry Thai food before he goes on. You'd have to have the top looking interns.
All the interns, the girls had to come in and watch him eat food before he went on.
So it's perfect. It works out for both.
What do you think about this guy?
Who, Bill Cosby or this...
Cosby?
What do I think about him?
What do you guys...
As a comic or as a rapist?
He's good at both, apparently.
He's an all-star at both.
Well, pre-rape, he was he was a god, right?
Yeah, he was everybody's favorite good guy. Sweater.
They can't even find a happy picture of him anymore.
Well, no, it's got to be...
He can't rape anymore.
That's true.
What if he's like Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tiger Woods was a rapist, but you know, like when Tiger Woods was getting all that... He could get all the pussy.
Yeah.
And then when he had to go on dry dock, when he wasn't allowed to, he went to rehab for pussy rehab.
Yeah.
And then his game was no good, right? Like if Cosby's maybe not...
His head's all messed up. Maybe those guys need a release to create the creative energy comes out after.
It's amazing that guy had trouble getting laid straight.
Who, Bill?
Yeah, well, just playing by the rules.
You've seen the way he dressed? Where's that sweater? That's no pussy magnet. That sweater, he's coming in.
That is the thing, is he could have fucked most of these girls just being Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Like, just said, hey, you want to come up back to the hotel room? You're not going to tell your wife, are you? No. Okay.
Maybe it was too easy.
You think that...
Maybe he
You think drugging them is...
well, maybe he was
extra
you know what, I just say my name, they're going to fall for it. Maybe I can take some other angle here.
What? You got to wonder what his fantasies were when he was jerking off of and then I drug her, and then just carry her down the stairs after.
Is that what you do? You try and get into Bill Cosby's jerk-off head?
Well, we're bringing it up. Yes, that's where we're going with this.
If Tiger Woods gets sex therapy, what is Bill Cosby's punishment?
He doesn't have one yet. He hasn't.
He loses his sitcom.
He did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just too much on there of...
And too many of the exact same stories from 30, 40 different women.
And he's just not even responding. He's just taking it.
He's just up in whatever that castle is.
He's gonna die soon. He knows that.
Yeah, he's kind of like Joe Paterno, right? He's like, I'll just milk this trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could just. He's not. Well, he hasn't been charged with anything yet. He's just sitting up there.
Well, the statute of limitations is gone for most of these too.
Oh
right?
yeah.
You only have 7 years from the crime to then report it and prosecute.
But can't they get him you know how they sort of got Capone on tax evasion? Get him eating curry in a back room. They eat curry eaten in a public environment. That's against health codes.
Yeah,
get him on a
health code
get him on a health code violation for eating in the back rooms of yeah.
They'll get him something else.
Get him on,
Maybe they bust in and they find some illegal drugs, some illegal rape drugs in his house right now, and then they're like, yeah.
But then everyone's gonna think he's a raver. Yeah. Oh God, just a bunch of glow sticks and stuff.
Wonder what sex therapy is. What happens in there? And
there's got to be some awesome stories.
Yeah, but how do you tell Tiger Woods how not to have sex when you have no fucking clue what it's like to be the the highest paid, next to Mayweather, he was the highest paid athlete in sports.
It's easy to tell the rest of the people in there, like, hey, you can't fuck all these girls and pay for hookers. It's another thing when Tiger Woods is beating chicks off every day.
Literally,
like,
they're falling on his dick, and you're
Yeah.
you're going to tell me, you doctor who doesn't get laid,
Yeah.
who never has this problem at all.
He's got a Lamborghini, maybe. We were talking about that on the way
Oh
over.
yeah,
Pussy car, you get a
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Maybe sell the Lamborghini.
Sell
That's
the
the
Lamborghini.
first.
It's not that he can't get laid. He's just not allowed to fuck people that aren't his wife. But now he can, as long as he's not in a relationship. He can fuck as many women as he wants. Like, there's nothing illegal.
So he doesn't need a sex therapist when he's not married?
Well, yeah, because the thing was, he had to go to sex therapy.
So he needs marriage therapy.
He didn't want to go to sex therapy. The people that sent him were like Nike and all these people in damage control because he was cheating on his wife, and that's what they were worried about, losing sponsorships. So all these big companies that are selling to rich, white, old people were like, that guy, and all of a sudden they start getting racial again, and they're like, well, we got to clean you up. We're going to give you this image. We'll go to like that. It was all about image control. It had nothing to do with, who cares if a guy gets laid all the time? That's a hero.
Don't you think the therapist just says to him, look, Tiger, you know where this leads? Do you want to be beaten on your front lawn by your wife with a golf club in front of the neighbors again? That's where your screwing around's going to lead you. It all leads to a beating on the front lawn. And how embarrassing is that?
But he was still
dragged out by your wife. He smashes the Volvo window out and beats you with a golf club in front of all your friends
That's
in the
pretty
neighborhood.
embarrassing. But all he had to do was just stay single for the rest of his life. And then he could just go out, screw a couple of waitresses, shoot a 63, win $5 million bucks, go on to the next town.
Yeah. Was Bill Cosby married?
Yes, Bill Cosby's been married the whole time. In fact, she was
to
there.
Alicia Rashad, whatever that.
No.
The wife watched?
No, the wife would leave the room. Like, they'd be hanging out, these girls come over, and then she'd all of a sudden disappear, go to bed or whatever, and then they'd be alone, and then the girl would start feeling a little queasy and
woozy.
Wake up and...
Chance Dickinson.
Then she wake up naked and Bill Cosby just having a plate of curry.
Playing video games.
It's time for you to head home.
We were pretty drunk.
People would have guessed it was pudding, but it wasn't. It was curry.
Who would have known that was curry all that time?
Yeah. Have some pudding.
Oh, Bill. Bill played hockey, right?
Bill Cosby?
Maybe.
He was
Boston
an all-star athlete.
Was he? No.
Yeah. Went on the name One-Eyed Willie McGee. Yeah, played for the Bruins. An early player. He got cut in training camp.
Yeah.
Not many people know that about Bill. That's when he started getting funny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He took a whirl around for the Bruins. Yeah, he tried out. He's goalie.
Yeah.
Goalie, yeah. They're his first black goalie to lace him up.
Doing bits.
Grant Fuhrer was a big fan.
Yeah.
That's how he started. You saw him, the kid, and said, hey,
Grant Fuhrer is one of the only posters of Bill Cosby in goal. He's wearing number 81.
I hope people don't believe this shit. Like, I hope they don't
That's where
use
he
it
liked
as
the
a
sweaters.
sports reference.
That's where he got into the sweater look.
Oh, the
It's
hockey
from
sweater?
He
From the
started
hockey
hockey sweater.
sweaters,
He's like just kept it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I know you've had a crazy busy year. Have you been watching hockey this year or what?
You know, my dad keeps me informed of the Canucks' progress. He's never happy. He's like, oh, the Canucks. He's just always in a bad mood. But we watched the Ducks Canucks game last week.
Yeah.
I guess it was Monday. Was it Sunday or Monday?
Sunday night, right?
Sunday night.
Yeah, because they're playing tonight.
And it was pretty funny watching it with my dad because he's always upset. He's just always pissed at the Canucks, but he's always talking. He's real positive about the goaltending. Yeah, good goaltending. He's always talking about.
Okay.
And
although that's been a spot for us, it's been up and down a bit.
Has he been watching the Canucks?
I think he really. My dad needs a Stanley Cup before he dies.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's do it for your dad then.
I need one before I die. I'm not even thinking about how old's your dad?
He's a 77.
Is your dad 77?
Dad's 77, man.
Oh, he was cruising around pretty good the other night.
Yeah.
I don't think he was shuffling quick.
Oh yeah, he's drinking. He's doing
rails in the can.
Doing well. My son's in show business, you know. He's going off. I need my own dressing room. He starts demanding things.
He had ink all over his hands. Did you see him? He went to take a picture with me and another guy, and he had ink all over his hands. That's how I know I wasn't. It wasn't. There's no milkman or whatever. I am very much like my father.
You get ink on your hands?
I get ink on my hands all the time.
What was he signing autographaps? What was going on?
Clean an octopus. Clean an octopus. The way everyone gets ink on the hands.
He gets a lot of hat tricks.
Yeah.
Is that a hat trick?
No, that's the Stanley Cup thing.
That's a Detroit.
He's an octopus. He's an octopus scooper. And Joe Blue, octopus scooper, always has blue hands. That's how you can tell that job. That would be my first guess if you saw it. You scoop octopus at Joe Lou?
How the fuck did that start? Does anyone know the history of the octopus?
8 legs for the 8 wins you need to get the Stanley Cup. So they threw
Oh,
the
yeah?
octopus on. That said, there was the 8 wins.
Did you know that?
Yeah, because it only used to be 2 rounds.
I don't even know what Damon half the time what's bullshit or not.
I don't either.
No,
He'd be
that's-
great on that
yeah.
old game show, the
Make
Liars
it up
Club.
as
Truth or
we go,
Dare
yeah.
or anything?
The
Or no,
Liars
Truth or
Club.
Lie? Let's go.
No, that's what it was, because there used to be 2 rounds. It was like semifinals and finals, and you needed 8 wins.
Okay.
Back in the old original 6 days.
Okay.
He says
That was
stuff
it.
so much confidence when he's making stuff about me up
Yeah.
that I start questioning it. I'm like, did I do that?
I tried to do that to you earlier. It didn't work. I
No.
told you you lived here a year ago.
Yeah, it didn't work.
That was
I
true,
knew,
but
though.
you still have some doubt whether he lived here or not.
I still believe that I was here a year ago.
But your dad has ink on his hands because he was like,
He's just my dad always has shit in his pockets.
yeah.
Like I tried his jacket on once, or on this trip that I'm up here, and I borrowed his jacket and I put my hand in it and it's got all sorts of Kleenex,
Yeah.
and receipts and dog cleanup bags. And then the other hand, he had 2 pairs of reading glasses tangled together.
Okay.
Like he just keeps an extra pair of reading glasses, and he has a pair on while he's got the jacket on.
So he keeps the extra pair with the regular pair, or they're both backups? He's got 2 pairs of backups.
Can I tell you, my parents are fucking hilarious. I go to their house. They live on Pender Island, and
not in the way you are, where you write good jokes. They're funny
no,
to you,
they're
right?
funny too. They're
Yeah.
funny, like, so they collect a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They go to like, I don't want to say they're hoarders because it's not messy.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of collectible stuff everywhere, and like
Like a specific thing? Like, do they collect like
No,
baby
no.
rhinoceroses, or where they go like
Driftwood.
little driftwood? Oh, driftwood.
a lot
There's
of
it. Yeah.
driftwoods. You
Gonna
guys-
get around to whittling that into something one day?
No.
Is that your
Is that
dad's
their plan?
plan?
They just like driftwood?
Oh yeah,
He's
there's,
gonna get driftwood.
See your doorknob? It'll be like the toilet paper roll will be a piece of driftwood.
Okay.
And then there'll just be driftwood lying around everywhere, just like just a piece of actual like discarded like a ship that just a piece of plywood from a ship.
Are they always looking for like the perfect piece of driftwood that has like 8 knots on it for like a coat hanger? They're always
Yeah.
been searching for that for years, and we can only
and all
find
they
that.
have to do is drill coat hanger hooks
Yeah.
into one piece of
Piece of
driftwood,
driftwood.
and then you could actually use it.
But then they're looking for the one with the real pieces because that wouldn't be authentic.
yeah, and there's bird seed on the keyboard, and
Do they varnish the stuff? They put a little.
No,
they
they
put a
just-
coat of Varnadas
no,
on there.
they just bring it home.
Do they live on the water?
Yeah,
So it's like one of those things that comes up on the shore, and they're like, "Oh, that."
They live.
That would look good
They
in the
live
bathroom.
inland, but they go to the beach almost every day and just pick it up.
Yeah.
And then they go to like the New to You, which is like the thrift shop, and then they buy stuff there. And
Is this since they've been retired?
yeah,
Or this wasn't like when you were
this
at
is
home?
when I was a kid. Too.
Oh, so they've always
Yeah.
been. This is.
There was just like a little statue next to some glasses that do your parents ever put glasses and plates on the walls and shit?
No.
Okay, you know those families. That's what I have.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
Ex-girlfriend, her parents had that on every wall, plates, but with religious sayings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen those.
That's creepy.
Is the new?
That's always creepy. Like
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Is Sam Easton's parents? Do they live on Pender Island too? You guys on
They
the
do
same
live on
island?
Main Island.
Oh, Main Island.
Main Island.
Okay, I got my islands mixed up. I thought maybe
Right?
I'd been to
and
the
where
New
Pender's close to Maine, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your parents select the driftwood at the beach, or do they bring it all back first and then take
Then
it?
go
They
through-
sort through it back at home.
sometimes it's massive. Like my dad brought home this when we went to the beach. He brought home this massive tree branch that was like 10 feet high, and he was just carrying it around his shoulders,
Like across the shoulders.
across the shoulders. Just
Christmas Day, was he doing this? Was it like a Jesus thing?
Yep. I don't know if it was a Jesus thing, but like, let me give you
Have you brought it up with them too? Like, what's with all the driftwood? Or you just go, "Oh, my parents."
right. There's a picture of my dad just
Oh
carrying.
yeah, he's hiking back with a piece of driftwood just over the shoulder. Oh yeah.
This is them
Well, you
all
know
the
what?
time.
That piece of driftwood, the way it's at the end, for those of you at home who can't see, it looks like when the Grinch sawed off one of those on his dog to make the little reindeer
Right,
thing.
yeah.
It looks like that, only it's 10 feet long over
Yeah.
Lachlan's dad's shoulder.
Okay, so now I'm actually thinking they're crazier than I thought, because I was thinking they were like these nice pieces of driftwood that had colors in it, or like.
Lachlan said his parents are the craziest.
No, he said they're funny. He never called them crazy.
And then there's this. I'm doing it this way. I'm stupid.
So, did your dad know you were taking a picture because of the driftwood when you took that, or were you just like, "Hey, Dad, pose for a picture"?
Look at this one. This is him. This is a video, so I'm not going to push play. But that's him in the background of the
With
video,
the driftwood?
just hanging it like Jesus.
Oh, what? They're doing yoga. Oh,
Yeah,
and
the kids-
Is that a different piece of driftwood or the same one?
Same one. And then there's a bucket
So driftwood is a main theme around your guys' home. You got to do yoga with the driftwood.
You
tai
bring a
chi.
bucket to the beach.
Would they stay at the Driftwood Inn when they traveled?
Yeah, they actually did. So then I took a picture for you guys just to see the houses. Like this is the keyboard, right? I don't want
the bird
I'm not
seed
trying
on
to
it?
talk shit on my parents, but there's some shims.
Is that cheese they got just lying on there? A block of cheese?
Chips.
Cheese.
There's a lot
chips.
going around that keyboard.
There's a lot.
Your dad's reading.
How you gonna read
Middle
a
sex? What's that all about?
That's an area in
That's
near
a
London.
Bill Cosby book? Tell all?
Middlesex? What is that? Yeah, I mean there's a golf picture, tons of just randomness. There's always a pair of nail clippers lying around.
Okay.
Man,
A
you know
stapler.
when
Well,
they
you
pass,
gotta
you're gonna
keep
be the
it.
guy that has to go clean that, right?
One day.
The
Oh,
nail
man, I'm
clippers
gonna-
make sense.
I'm gonna come in there with a big, like just a crew.
If you're in there,
Yeah.
picking up driftwood, you probably got to every day work those fingernails just to like a.
Yeah, my dad's
Just the
always
right
got
length.
dirt under the nails.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's a lot of driftwood.
My
coming
dad's
in.
usually got blood on his hands, dried up, cracked up blood on his hands.
Or ink.
Or ink, yeah.
You don't know what it is. Is that dried up blood on?
Yeah.
So what's blood like? Is it out?
He's just out in the yard cleaning up and stuff like that, and he gets injured, and he comes in, and he's one of those guys who's just not aware of his injuries, so he'll just be talking to you, and then he'll have blood on his face from his hand, and he'll be like, "Dad, you're bleeding," and he'll be like, "Oh." And then he'll just kind of wipe it on his sleeve and continue his conversation.
Not even on a piece of driftwood.
That's what. Would you wipe it on some driftwood?
We're
Was your
drift around
dad
and then toss that out. Can we toss
Was
that?
your dad a tough guy when he played hockey?
I think
Hockey growing up with all that
God.
ability to just wipe the blood off. Was that from his days tangling as an enforcer back in the industrial
well, he
leagues?
played rugby.
Yeah.
He played
Does
a
he
lot
have
of
your
rugby.
height too? Your dad?
He was about 6'3". He's shrinking a
Back
bit.
then was a pretty good sized guy. No, there wasn't a lot of
Back
6'3"
in 1908?
Yeah.
That was tall.
Well, if he's,
1908.
if he's 77 now, that's like
40s,
Yeah.
50s,
Well, it would be 30.
50s.
Yeah, no, not 50.
It's not a math show.
40.
Nobody.
He'd be in his 20s and in
Yeah.
the 50s.
17, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
30s in the 60s, 40s in the 70s, 50s in the 80s, 60s in the 90s.
Back when he was yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe
Nobody even knew what a 6'3" guy looked like in color back then. They still only had black and white photographs.
So he would have been born in 37, right? So
Yeah, I think so.
1937. So
Danny's
Where's it
adding
for?
it up. He's doing the math.
50.
I don't even know what year it is right now.
64, and then 13 back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
50.
37.
Yeah.
1937.
19,
So, you know, if he was in
1930.
So
and
57, he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
I don't think there was that many 6'3" guys then. Not as many. He'd probably been like, you know,
Tall,
sports
thin,
would have been
tall.
like, yeah.
Eyebrows for days.
Definitely drove a convertible back then. Probably a Bel Air, Chevy Bel Air
Yeah.
convertible, so his head
Yeah.
wasn't sticking through like in the
Yeah.
cartoons.
Oh, I think he was a greaser. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
No, maybe he had one of the big L's on his sweater. Big,
Oh,
or big
like
T.
Laverne.
Laverne.
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably had one of those.
big Laverne.
Probably had blood all over his fingers.
What do you have to say for the fact that I ran into one of your one of your best friends that was there
Matt.
the other night? Matt.
Yeah.
I asked him about your hockey skills. He said you were a real gangly player all your career. He said
He's
he's
never
one
put his
gangly.
feet on ice in his
I
life.
said, how was Lachlan's hockey? Oh,
He's lying.
gangliest guy I ever saw.
He's fucking lying.
I don't know. He's
I'm
been
not
repeating
lying.
this story to me, so.
I might have coaxed it out of him. It might have been like, was he a really gangly skater? Oh, yeah, Lachlan was a gangly skater.
Oh,
He
he's
said
talking
you were
about my
gangly.
old friends that you saw there.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my old hockey team from when I was like, I'm talking like 11, 12. So
Okay.
yeah, you got me. I was
Got you,
gangly.
gangly back then.
You're getting a lot of the people that knew you were in 11 getting back in contact now?
Isn't that crazy, dude? I had all my old best friends from when I lived in Vancouver. I moved to the North Shore at 13, but before that, this was my hockey team, and
They were all
Was
out.
that a good
Some
thing or a
upstairs,
weird
some
thing?
downstairs.
they're all supportive
Yeah.
as can be. So I think it's really cool that they come out. But that was our team was terrible. We were a terrible hockey team. I remember the coach just used to yell at us about like practice was coming up the next day. He'd be like, "Oh," like in the second period, it's like 8-0, we're losing, and you'd just be like, "Oh, tomorrow, you guys are gonna be running. We're not even gonna put on skates tomorrow."
We had the coach when I was a kid that he's always yelling, kicking garbage cans. This guy
Yeah.
always, you goddamn kick that guy. And now he's like the top realtor in Parksville. So as you drive in, there's a giant billboard. Robbo's. There's the guy that yelled at me for like a year of my life. There's old. He's a fat old guy now, or whatever his head looked. But I'm like, oh god, there's Robbo. That guy used to yell and kick buckets. That's all I think about, right? I don't think of him as Mr. Realtor, top sales guy. And
he's probably still like that when he sells.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
We're not. We're actually changing our mind. We're not interested in selling. You better sell.
He kicks over a garbage can display couch in the place that was fake.
We'll be practicing tomorrow on this if you don't get it.
He's still got one of those aluminum garbage cans that you use.
I will say this though, Lachlan did. He picked up the tab for all his old friends.
I tried to. Y'all paid without me. But
yeah,
anyone who
was up there.
Was that at the theater or where?
No, next door. But I actually made the numbers. I had that was the first time I ever produced a show, and so it was. And you obviously know the nerves that go along with producing a show.
It can be a little intimidating when you're risking money and then still thinking about all those things you have to think about, and then go on stage and give it your best.
Yeah,
like it's two separate brains, and it can be a tough day. What did you think?
Well. We did it. You know what? Everyone was like, "How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" And I honestly was like, "I'll be great tomorrow."
Yeah.
I'll be great tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll have fun on stage. But just quit asking me that fucking question.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping everyone kind of.
So you did it all yourself. You did all the advertising and everything, and.
Well, I hired a publicist, and the theater has their own publicity team. They take a huge chunk for that, and I luckily. So they didn't. They said, "How are you going to do it?" And I said, "I'm just gonna walk out. You know, I just need somebody to introduce me."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, we don't have that."
Yeah.
So then.
Yeah, they have nothing. A theater has nothing. It's not like a comedy club. There's nobody there. Everything person there is if you've asked for them to be there, and if you didn't even know you were supposed to ask for them, they're not there.
And except for Lanny, that guy down the guarding the gate there with the glasses, reading the book.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't just have someone say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Lachlan Patterson." They're like, "Nope."
Yeah.
So I went down to when I got into town, I went down to the Comedy Max to find somebody. But it was Friday night. It was Boxing Day, and there was no comedians doing guest spots. So everyone that was there, Foxy, Kevin Fox, and Ivan, and another comedian they were working Saturday night.
Yeah.
So Foxy says, "I got a guy," and I didn't confirm it because I was like, "I'll find a guy on the street."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Foxy went and called this kid, Justin, and then I was like, "I don't need him. Damon's coming down," because Damon called me and he's like, "I'm swinging by," and I was like, "That would be awesome if you could help me out." And Damon came by and did a spot. How was it?
It was awesome. Yeah, I walked out 15 minutes.
They loved
it was great.
you, dude.
Yeah, it was an
easy
gig for me. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a fun gig.
Must have been, though, once you hit the stage, though, a lot of fun. They're there to see you. It's supportive. They got huge applause right off the top.
It was one of those shows where they got all the little stuff, too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I even got a laugh out of this guy on one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got me with one of his throwaway lines about the guy, the disabled list for baseball. And then he said, gives a couple examples, and he says, put a
crane in his pool.
Put a crane in the pool. He's done, and I couldn't stop laughing for like 2 minutes. I don't know why that line hit me so hard that I was like the guy giggling in the back. Where Christy's like, "Okay, you've laughed long enough."
It was literally like somebody. That joke was for that person or something. I said I didn't know it was Damon.
It was me sitting in the back. Just couldn't. One of those ones that just hits you where it's like because he did the other lines. The other people were they laughed at that one.
Yeah,
because it was just a crane. I'm not even sure what that just to load him in and out. The guy in the wheelchair, they load him in and out.
For the listeners, the disabled list, like every other sport, when you get hurt, you go on the injured list. But in baseball, they put you on the disabled list,
right?
Which makes it sound so much more difficult to come back.
Right.
Like, sprained ankle. All right, he's done. Put a chair in his shower. Get him a dog. Put him on Social Security. He's not coming back. Put a crane in his pool, boys.
He's done.
And
that's a great visual, though.
Yeah, and so the crane in the pool made me laugh because I think I must like cruel stuff a little. I wind up laughing more when it gets down to something like that.
Well, most comics do because we
laughed at all the other
all the other stuff we've already seen.
That's all that's left.
It's that's all that's left. Like, that's all we got left is cruelty.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like for somebody to make me laugh with the typical joke is really hard. I'll be like, "Oh, that's a good joke," and I'll even kind of smile through it. But to actually like a gut laugh. It's got to be so dark that the guy should not have been. What's that?
If I need a laugh, I'll type in Russian dash cam video on YouTube.
Right.
And that's just the
crashes
cop.
and
Is that
stuff.
the cop, or they all got to have a camera in them?
They
I
all-
got to type it in.
Russian dash cam. Russians in a lot of countries you just put a dash cam on. Everyone has them because there's so much insurance fraud.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, so much, I guess, craziness. And so these are 24-hour recording cameras. As soon as you turn the key on, the camera goes on, and so that you just see. I've seen literally like a guy going across the freeway and a plane is crashing right in front of him. There's amazing stuff.
That's
Yeah,
right. 'Cause
but
they
you're
got
laughing
that.
hysterically.
Well,
Maybe not the plane
I
crash
laugh. I laugh when like the motorcycles ripping through, wheeling, and then I don't know why. I'm a horrible person.
Wasn't that because they were like just throwing people in front of vehicles to get like
That was
insurance
funny.
claims? That
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
rent you could rent a person from the black market, throw them in front of a car, boom, down they go. You got the insurance thing.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, you go rent them. What do you got? What do you got for something light? I'm not that big a guy.
Is there like a corner with all these guys? You just pull up. I need a guy, and like 8 people want to jump in the back of
You
your
got to
pickup
know
truck.
someone.
But they wait till you slow down.
Yeah.
It's true. He's not lying. They wait till the car's about to slow down, and then they just fall on it.
Yeah.
And then they fall on the ground.
Right.
Dana Carvey used the same technique in Opportunity Knocks, as we all know, to begin that movie.
I would also think you got to be very careful when you go to pick these guys up because they're all pros. They could fall on you, and then you're getting sued, and it was your game plan all around.
Oh, you can't trust anyone anymore.
So a GoPro,
Yeah.
you put that. That's what the idea we came up with for Tyson.
What's that?
Yeah, Rick's daddy for his 40th birthday. It's going to be in Vegas. We decided we're just going to slap a GoPro to his head.
Oh, perfect.
And then see how it turns out. So later,
Like
when
a Hangover, but they got the movie made.
just so that the next day he was like, remember when the front desk guy was being a complete fucking a-hole? And then we just replay it him like, the front desk guy, like, sir, I can't understand you. Being thrown out like, I'd like to put one
You
on.
can get a chest mount.
Yeah.
So you get a chest mount because the head is going to look awkward, but a chest is you could just do that, and then you could kind of point it up
Yeah.
so you see a bit of your face and they're really wide peripheral vision. In fact, you have to be close to get anything, which is the thing they really tell you.
That's
on the
great.
GoPros.
Yeah, you should do it.
And just chest
So 40.
cam, boom like that.
But
and
I
then you
wanted
get
to put it on
everything
his
going
head so that when he rips his shirt, they work in water too. So when he yells like cannonball and just jumps in a pool for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You have
that.
to put the waterproof thing on it.
Oh, do you? You got to do that early?
They don't
Okay.
just- they don't just automatically-
waterproof on the
Yeah, but
day.
she could do it. We could get him one.
Yeah.
When's he going? When's his bachelor party?
It's going to be like, well, his birthday's March 3rd, so it's going to be the weekend before or after up in Vegas.
All right.
You around, you doing shows that weekend in the Pitbull of Comedy's place? What was his
Bobby
name?
Slayton?
Bobby Slayton's Pitbull of Comedy den that you were in for?
Oh man, he loved his den.
Are you playing Vegas?
You know, I haven't done. I haven't played Vegas since August. This Brad Garrett's room I hear is really nice.
So is it like I mean, obviously your life has changed since now. Now is it like, did your agent have to work to get you these clubs and stuff, or clubs going, hey, we'll pay so much, get Lachlan here, we want him, when can we get him, kind of thing? Like,
Well, I don't want to take away any of the wonderful work that he's done.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's a lot easier to book me now. So he just booked me the whole fucking year, man.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not. I should be very happy. It's been wonderful that I can just, like get a nice hotel, and if I want to rent a car, I can just rent a car, and so there's all these sorts of little perks. But I do miss my freedom. I do miss my free time. I miss being at home.
Yeah.
I'm at home.
But you could turn down weeks too.
I could,
But right now you
his
wanna-
advice is just take it
Yeah.
right now, get the money now, because it is going to slow down eventually for you. You'll get your time on it, and so
Well, it might not. Like you don't know that. Like it could be like for most of the guys, you get the big bump, you make your money, put some away, and then you go back down a little bit. But then some guys, hey, this is the start, and it keeps going. They win those audiences over, and they want to see him again and again and keep growing. And you never know. But it's not a bad move to put some money aside.
Yeah, I'm putting some money aside, but that's the question. I don't know. Am I going up, or is this the end?
You'll never know. Jim Carrey doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's show business.
Bob
And
Newhart's wondering.
Yeah.
He's on the road right now.
Cosby, he was going up for a long time.
Yeah.
He's going down a little bit, but he made $1 billion. He's fine, but
What about buying a hockey team? You still thinking of buying a team maybe down in
That's
the
gotta be a good
ECHL?
investment.
Probably
Maybe.
put a little
Like
money
buy-
in like the
Who's available? The
the
Phoenix?
Falcon, the Bakersfield.
Yeah, the
Falcons?
Bakersfield Falcons sound like a good purchase,
Okay.
right? Just
Yeah.
that's up the highway from you. Go
You
Bakersfield.
could go check. Maybe you could play a couple of games.
Is the Victorville in California, the one where they make the sticks?
Victoriaville?
Is it Victoriaville?
I think that's
No,
out of
it's in
Quebec.
Quebec.
Okay, never mind.
No, you can't get that. Is there a Victorville in California?
On the way
Yeah.
to Bakersfield.
Okay, well, no, you want
Bakersfield Falcons?
dozen.
Yeah.
The Bakersfield dozen.
The Bakersfield dozen? Are
I
you
think
guys
they're called
making
the
this up?
Bakersfield Falcons.
Well, that's what you could change
Oh,
the
they're
name.
the Condors.
Okay.
Bakersfield Condors. They're part of the ECHL.
Yeah.
That's close by.
What is
Many of the guys
ECHL?
East Coast Hockey League?
East Coast Hockey League.
And they're on the West Coast?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they
Yeah.
merged.
They merged.
They used to be part of the Pacific Coast League or something like that.
Victoria had a team.
Could
Victoria
I be
Syndicate.
like Manny Pacquiao? Could I play like the first 5 minutes of the game?
Yeah, you could do it as
you
like the baseball teams where
Publicity
they have
stunt.
celebrities that come in and they sell tickets like, because so and so's playing and everybody else is like, I'm trying to still make the big leagues, but the guy gets to play like a couple of bats. Here's Charles Barkley.
You could do whatever you want if you're the owner.
Yeah.
You could be that crazy owner, Harold Bell. All you
Well,
got to
look
do
at
every
him.
now and then
Jersey.
is you just got to tell about
I'm gonna have them sing the Canadian national anthem down there.
and
Yeah.
no American one, just the Canadian one every time. You just sing
Yeah, dude.
that's for hockey. You just sing the Canadian national, and then you just got to always tell stories about Eddie Shore.
Yeah.
That's what an owner does, right?
right.
Harold Ballard and Eddie Shore. You just talk about tight-fisted owners.
You can
You run this
give
team.
Cameron Abney the tap and say, I'm going in on this shift.
What does he play?
He's playing forward.
Oh, I
Shoots
don't-
right. 6'5", 215.
Wow, I'm not
Yeah.
taking him out.
Dan Blackburn's playing in goal.
Yeah.
He's got his catching hands gone. He's got 2 blockers. Remember him? He played for the Rangers. Got his
Yeah.
arm skated over. They had to redo his tendons, and his arm can't twist anymore. He's got to
Are
wear
you
2
kidding
blockers.
me?
Brendan Brooks
No.
is 5'10", 185. Maybe give him the tap.
Okay.
Oh, wait. There's a guy, Gabriel Levesque. Oh, he's center.
I
5'7", 160.
Levesque, though, dude, he plays.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got to be good. He's got to be your speedy guy.
Rene's grandson? The separatist
Eddie?
grandson?
Eddie Levesque?
Eddie Levesque? Rennie Levesque.
Cheers.
And they're part of the
yeah.
Oilers affiliate.
Wasn't Eddie Levesque the Penguins mascot?
He was the goalie for the Bruins, and then he
Did the Penguins mascot fight him?
yeah.
What did he have? Did
he
he
died.
run the Zamboni
Didn't he-
or something?
He
Yeah,
got run over by
Zamboni. Wasn't that what it was?
What the fuck happened while I was gone from this country that we just set ourselves back like 10 years with this fucking guy who's sang the national anthem and tripped over the carpet?
He's been the anthem singing for a while, hasn't he? The Vancouver
He's
Canucks
the
guy.
Vancouver guy. He was that bowling ball fat guy. It's set up.
We're the what?
Set up.
You think that
a
was a
setup?
joke?
Yeah.
That was a joke.
I think he did it as he did it to make it so that it would go.
When did he
YouTube-wide.
ever skate and sing?
No,
ever?
that
That was the only time that ever
Because-
happened.
Watch it. He's skating around. He's singing. He knows there's a carpet there. He walks out on that fucking carpet every night, all year, and he takes no attempt to step over it. He just skates right into it, and boom, and then he's singing. He doesn't miss a beat. I think he makes it look. I'm gonna hit this carpet and slide, and it'll go all over the place. And then he's got like. Now he's probably singing gigs everywhere.
I think-
Probably price
What?
just went up. I bet.
How would you like to be on that brainstorm session? I just need something. I'm so close to popping, to being famous. I need like a YouTube
Maybe.
thing. What about
10 million hits.
Yeah.
I think the opposite happened. I think that he didn't tell anyone he was going to be lacing on some skates.
Yeah.
And they thought he was just going to walk out on that red carpet and sing. And then he laced him up and he's like, hey, check me out. And they're like, oh my God, that's an awesome idea. Get out there. And they had never done it before. They had never had him sing on the skates.
It
And
makes
he
no
sta-
sense, the whole thing.
And they rolled out the
It's a
carpet.
possibility. It wasn't a pro league game.
It
It was a minor league. It was a tune-up for the Spengler
Spangler.
Spengler Cup tune-up team. Because he starts out on a blue
You
carpet.
guys
He
gotta
was
get-
at the Canucks
You guys
game.
got to get this guy on your podcast and
Well, we
find
should
out
find
what
out
the
right there.
story is.
Mark
Yeah.
Donnelly.
Mark Donnelly. He's
It
always
was
been the singer.
versus the Oilers. We were playing the Oilers.
I just still think he's.
Oh wait.
I think.
Okay, hold on a second. So he was at a junior game, right? It was a junior A hockey game in Penticton, the Penticton V's.
Okay.
So maybe that's where they came
Oh,
up
maybe
with
the carpet's in the wrong part of the arena. Maybe I take it back. Penticton
Yeah.
V's. He's not in his home rink.
Yeah, the V's, they do a box
Oh
of carpet.
yeah. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else runs it like
Straight out.
Runs it parallel
Yeah.
to the red and blue, the red line, blue line, carpet line. This one was going against the grain. No wonder Donnelly did. See, I take it all back. Penticton V's. No wonder. It all makes
Well, this-
sense
this is
now.
That
like
would have
him
never
doing,
happened
like-
in the Spengler.
a
Yeah.
gig in Prince George. Like, sure, in Vancouver he gets to play the Canucks, but he's got to fill those. They only play 41 home games.
Yeah.
So he's got to fill in the C circuit here. the Penticton Bees Junior A.
I saw him walking the concourse one time. He's about 5'1", 380.
Well, they played that video.
Although he's lost his weight now.
They played that video on ESPN down south like 50 times in one day, and just set us way back.
You think that's what set Canada back? That's our only news flash these days?
I think that's worse than Stephen Harper right there.
They don't know who Stephen Harper is. But that's our anthem. That's our thing. And now our anthem will be forever remembered by Americans as this with this in the middle of it.
I guess because he is skating too, right? Because he didn't just
he hurt himself for sure.
How many knew they were singing our anthem?
I mean, it's literally and then he gets up and falls again.
The second fall is way funnier than the first.
He finished big though. He got an arm up.
Yeah.
He went right to the audience, like, you guys now. No, you owe us a line.
Well, he was always out of breath at that point. I don't know if you've seen him do it at Vancouver. He gets through the first part, and then he just Axl Roses right out. He can't fit. He's out of breath.
Well, no more of that. Sing your fucking anthem.
Sing your anthem.
Do
Send
we
out a kid.
still need anthems at sports games?
No.
I think it's propaganda.
Of course it is.
I think that
they didn't do it.
But this country's got a ton of pride. I think it's good.
They didn't do it until the Second World War.
No?
Yeah, that was out of pride because all the guys over there said they started singing the anthem before the matches, and then it just stuck. They couldn't call it off afterwards. Now it was like a.
What are you thinking? True or a lie?
Well, true or lie? Yeah. Might be the First World War. I could be wrong. I'm positive it's got to be.
I've been watching old Canadian game shows on the Game Show Network, and
I can look it up. Anthem Origins. So I like it when it's a big game. You sing the Canadian, but I don't like both. Whatever. You can sing one anthem.
Yeah. Two's a lot.
Well, in Philly, they sing what? Don't they sing God Bless America? What do they sing right out of the gate? They got the old bat comes up on the screen.
God Bless America comes around every once in a while.
In the seventh inning at baseball, but I think in Philadelphia, they don't sing the national anthem. They sing God Bless America right out of the gate. They got some old bat on video footage up there that sang it in a flyer. Only in Philadelphia for the Flyers games.
They still booed.
No, they got the broadcast. They got some woman like, oh, it's Esther Hayes singing. So they bring her up. She sang it back.
Is that
in
Willie
the day.
Mays' mom?
Willie Mays' aunt, Esther Hayes. Willie Mays' Hayes. Esther Mays Hayes. there's a good base stealer.
Oh, man,
second black goalie to play after Bill Cosby was
Grant Fuhr?
In between Grant Fuhr was Esther Mays Hayes.
Kick save Hayes.
Kick save Hayes. Kick save Hayes. Oh yeah, she could stop anything. Old Esther Mays Hayes.
Drop like a butterfly.
And by the way, the Detroit one was
Stings
correct.
like a
the
flea?
Octopus.
Okay.
So if you had guessed
eight
liar,
games.
you would have been wrong.
And now we're looking for wartime.
But it was 1952 for the Octopus.
I said it was original 6.
Do you remember?
They didn't expand until 67.
Do you remember Bumper Stumpers?
No.
That was.
Yeah, they put the plate in the guy. They used the 8 in there.
This
so
is a plate that belongs to a fussy lawyer or whatever. And
and you'd have to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Bumper Stumpers, but the Liars Club.
The Liars
Club. Was that a Canadian one though, wasn't it?
It was because one of the prizes was win a trip for 2 to Squamish today.
Okay, just right after the show.
And then in the other one, it was you could win a fur coat. Man, can you imagine if you tried to give away a fur coat as a prize today? How many groups would have a field day?
Might not be bad in Russia still.
Fur coat, yeah.
Fur coat?
Because it was for warmth over there.
Yeah.
So
over here,
it was 1918 during the First World War. Is when they started it during the 7th inning stretch.
I was off by a war. The war started in the 7th inning stretch. Little known fact.
Okay, guys, stand up, start stretching.
Fucking Brooklyn picking us off again. Enough of that shit.
40,000 troops in that
stretch. Where's that picture from? Turkey? We're gonna lash out at them. It all went crazy from there.
Yeah.
You guys, this thing's all over the place. I love it. So Spangler, could we get the advertising to maybe not have the giant white rectangle stickers on the helmets?
They're horrible. And we know from the last podcast that stickers actually eat away at the helmet and create unsafety. That's what a ref told Damon.
Ref told him
they did like this rat dog sticker.
Oh
it also said "fuck you, ref" underneath it. So
no, I wore that on a headband underneath. Like Jim McMahon did back in the.
They're talking about the NHL doing that. I think the it just looks horrible on the jerseys. It looks bad.
Well, plus it's like Skoda or something, isn't it? Or Lada? What is it? A car or a chewing tobacco? Is Skoda the bits that you put in your lip?
I think it's Skoll.
Skoll Bandits and Skoda cars? Are those two
Yeah.
different things? Yeah, they probably don't have Skoda Bandits.
Skodas are great. I mean, I never had one, and I never been inside one, but they seem
great mileage. Great mileage on a
they?
Skoda? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Skoda?
that.
Yeah, four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive,
Yeah.
they only weigh less than a two-cylinder four-wheel drive.
He's,
I'm gonna go with liar. I'm gonna go with liar on that one.
He's always half. What he does is he half tells you the truth
Yeah,
to bait you into the lie.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Skoda's 4-wheel drive, 2-cylinder.
A two-cylinder four-wheel drive. Not a lot of power, even with four-wheel drive. You
So the
drive a
Canadian team
two-cylinder.
doesn't have the ads on. We're just
No, that's the World Junior, but
No,
the
this is the
the
Spengler.
Spengler guys.
Who's Spengler?
Spengler?
Yeah. Here he
Sure, it
goes.
was Spengler.
Come on, make it.
I was
make
going to
a
do
guess.
something
Make it
quick.
up. Spengler was obviously a German. You got to think.
Spengler was a German band, punk band.
Yeah.
Spengler, yeah, I got held up there. I couldn't. I was trying to think of a guy that.
Is winning the Spengler, is that a good resume credit?
It helped Cujo get back in the league that
Yeah.
one year. Remember, Cujo went over, he backstopped the team to a Spengler victory.
Okay.
And I think Andy
Then you got-
Schliebner helped up for the Nucks. Andy Schliebner was a Canuck who did well in the when they first started showing him back when
He now plays for your team.
Yeah, when
The
Paul
Bakersfield Condors.
Andy Schliebner back when
He
Paul
now plays junior?
yeah when Paul Romanot first went over and started broadcasting the Spengler Cup and they were
Yeah.
playing it back in Canada. It was probably about 20 years ago. Andy Schliebner had the good tournament, signed with the Canucks back when they had the back just in the end of the V's tournament.
Schliebner? Is this
Andy
is he full
Schliebner.
of shit?
I don't know idea.
Spell
Liv
Schliebner.
Schliebner, his brother, is that great actor.
Liv Schreiber?
Liv Schliebner.
Oh my god. Oh man, you.
Damon is actually going to go down as LA as Damon Schliebner.
Schliebner. Slater Schliebner.
People might think it's Jewish. You might get some sort of
Edmund
connection. I don't
Schliebner.
know.
Might get the hooked up on the Schliebner.
Edmund Schliebner.
We're going to bring that Schliebner kid in.
Edmund Schliebner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands
I
together.
challenge an Edmund Schliebner out there to a name-off fight.
There's very few people I recognize from the Spengler Cup team. Byron Ritchie, you said already.
Yeah.
Marc-Antoine Pouliot. Ryan Perrant.
Ryan Perrant was that guy that played for the Flyers in the Stanley Cup Final and then got traded to the Nucks.
Right.
And they buried him in the minors because if you called him up, a team could pluck him and you had to pay his salary. Remember those years?
Oh man.
So Perrant got just buried, even though he could play in the show. He got the Redden
Yeah.
treatment.
Joel Kokowski. He played for Nashville, right?
Joel Kokowski.
And then Jeff Tambellini, another Canuck.
Got his card.
And Jim Vandermeer. The rest, I have no idea who they are.
Hey, well, who's that up top? Andy Schliebner. Nolan Schlafner. Nolan
Schaefer.
Nolan Schaefer.
The funny thing is, most of these guys are from places where I hate doing gigs. It's like small town gigs. We got to do like Yellowgrass, Caroline, Wapella,
St. Howard.
Kindersley,
Courtney.
Comox. Yeah,
You got to be glad not
Comox
to do
is
any of
here.
those.
Courtney.
Not get a
Trail
Kindersley on your
BC.
list.
I've gotten bigger cities. Yeah, I get to go to New York and
Did you guys play a theater in New York?
We did.
You guys do on the tour?
That was the one non-theater. We played B.B. King's on Broadway, which was weird. That was a last-minute booking.
Jazz Club.
Yeah.
B.B. King's?
B.B. King's was the smallest room we played the whole thing.
Really? What were you playing? Like 1,000, 1,500 seats? Bigger?
Yeah.
3,000?
2,500.
25 and sold out?
Yeah. Crazy. People who watch TV.
Like 4 or 5 nights a
Crazy
week?
people who watch TV.
I mean, really nice people, but they're there from a TV show.
Yeah.
And
They're different than the people that would normally come out sometimes, aren't
yeah,
they?
these are new. These people are new to comedy.
Yeah.
You're
So they're
the-
loving it. Everything is
they
the
love it.
best thing ever.
But I felt sort of responsibility to teach these people. I felt like I had to do new material to let these people know that's how.
And you throw some F-bombs? Chuck some F-bombs over the side
I
of the ship?
don't think I did any Fs, but I did
Do
some
you swear
shits.
much normally?
A little.
But it was never a big thing for you anyway.
It's never been, I never had bits that I'm like, well, I gotta say tits here and I gotta say fuck here, and
Yeah.
I've always been able to add those things when I had a couple of beers and take them out when I see the kids in the audience. There was a 15-year-old at the show
Oh, 15-year-old
Hot?
those.
Was she hot?
It was a boy.
Oh, hot? Was he hot?
Nice recovery.
This podcast took a weird turn.
Yeah, this podcast goes both ways.
Yeah.
That's why he wears that Kraft Cheese Whiz shirt.
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing
15-year-old
Cheese Whiz.
boys.
They
That's
love
'cause
it.
I'm flying out to Medicine Hat for New Year's tomorrow. I want to wear that one shirt I
right.
know that I'm not going to pack. Yeah.
How far a flight is that? It's forever.
Are you flying into Medicine Hat or Calgary?
No, just flying to Calgary and driving with Dave.
And Dave
and
meaning
Kenny Tromblett.
Which Dave?
Nystrom.
Oh, sweet.
So Nystrom and I are doing that, and Kenny Tromblett's coming as our super friend driving. He's our driver.
Super jealous, man. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. It's just in the hat. It's in a weird spot. Oh, this will already come out by then, but yeah, one night in Medicine Hat, and one of our favorite listeners is going to be there.
Oh, Melody.
Melody Osgood.
Melody, a little shout out. She'll be actually. This will be after the fact though, because
Yeah.
this is airing next week.
What's
So-
with Mel? Why is she your favorite listener?
She listens to every episode. We
Yeah.
give her due for a shout out
Yeah.
for it. She listens to
Yeah.
every episode. She makes comments if we say something wrong, especially anything wrong about Osgood. We're in Chris Osgood. We're in trouble.
She must have a lot to say about the bullshit Damon's been shoveling tonight.
We won't know yet. That's out in there. We don't even
Yeah.
know what's true and what's not. Even I'm baffled. I'm not sure.
Stay by your Google bar
Yeah.
today, Melody.
Stick with
Yeah.
the Googles. Stick with the Googles.
Keep
and you figure
an
stuff
eye
out.
on this guy for us. Call him out.
Yeah.
Are you still a Habs fan, or have you switched like a team in LA? Who's your team now? Chicago. You're all over the place. Tampa
yeah.
Bay Light. What do you like?
I like the Kings, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're
it's-
winning, bandwagon hopper that you are. You've
I
always
live
been a
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
now you're throwing that out, huh? Just because you drove by
I can't-
Staples Center once.
I'm not happy that they're great.
Are you still
Yeah.
at the beach or what?
Yeah, I'm still at the beach.
Okay.
I took my dad. I could have got us tickets. My dad tickets to when they came down.
The Driftwood Festival at the beach?
That's why he was coming down. He was coming down.
to the Driftwood
But,
Festival.
you
I'm
know,
gonna make him a Stanley Cup out of all the driftwood they have.
All right. So
But I had Kings Blackhawks tickets.
Well, that's a good game.
It's a
Yeah.
good fucking game. He wouldn't go. That's
Why?
how big a Canucks fan he is. He
really?
won't even go look at two rivals play.
really?
Two top rivals.
He should have
Two
went
top
as a
rivals.
scout. You should have told him you were scouting, Dad. You can send these notes back to Vancouver.
You guys,
Two teams.
He's very fussy about that stuff.
So,
No
Does he watch
ex-Canucks in
every
that game
game?
either.
Yeah,
like-
he watches, and it sucks too because like we have to just stop what we're doing. You know, I got to get him Wi-Fi.
stop. Put the driftwood down.
You got to put the
Kids,
driftwood down.
Quit grabbing the driftwood for
Leave
10
the bird-
minutes.
put the bird seed away.
Yeah.
And get the
Stop clipping your dirty fingernails. Wipe
Yeah.
that blood off your mitts. Let's get the game on.
And so I got him on a bootleg website. I taught him how to kind of navigate his way through a bootleg website without hitting the wrong thing and signing up for some shit. Like,
Right. So to watch the games?
Apparently, my PC needs a Mac upgrade.
Mac upgrade. Oh, you didn't have to
Already on
take
that.
him to some bar and find a TV in the basement
There's-
like when we tried to watch that playoff game?
Yeah, dude, that was a nightmare. But that's a playoff game. At least
Yeah.
you'd think it would be easier.
Yeah.
But these regular season games.
Canucks Kings playoff game, we had to drive all around in. Where were we just
It was a
in?
nightmare, dude.
Were we just in by? We found it in
Santa
some
Monica?
basement
Yeah.
of a place in Santa Monica. We were in our own private sort of dark booth corner.
Yeah.
Right.
It was terrible.
Below there was a what was it? It was a rosewood festival, rose and driftwood carving polishing thing upstairs.
Yeah,
We
that's-
left your dad upstairs. Oddly, that he got both that night.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was.
Came for the game, stayed for the driftwood. Usual story.
And this is what were the LA Kings playing?
Yeah,
During this game? And you still couldn't find anywhere to watch it.
It was that Kings Canucks one when they beat the Nucks in 5
That was terrible.
playoffs.
Are you sure it was
4 years ago?
Yeah, well, it,
It was
might have
that
been the
game.
Kings.
It was
Yeah.
that- yeah, because I was down there.
Or was it Boston?
No, it was the Kings. That's why we were
But now
surprised
you
it
can
wasn't
get more
on.
of
We
these
thought
games
it was going to be
online.
on anywhere, so we walked into the first place.
Yeah. You can't get games down there, so you got to go on the internet and grab those bootleg websites. And
Surprised is there no Canadian bar in LA?
there probably are. I haven't seen any.
I don't think I remember. You go to London, there's Canadian bars, and they say there's up to over 1 million Canadians that live in Southern California.
Yeah, I don't see any of them in my neighborhood. That's for sure.
Well, you run into Canadians all the time. I did all
Not
the time.
a lot of white people in your neighborhood.
I saw you down there. I saw Dave Nystrom down there.
Well,
I
the
saw,
comedy clubs, we're gonna run into each other maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, around you guys come down usually around February, March.
yeah.
Saw Howie Mandel sunbathing.
Yeah.
Remember, just getting a little color.
There's a lot of Canadians on there.
He was just getting a little color for that pale skin of his. His little germ skin was getting some...
Maybe that's where you should invest your money in, is a Canadian bar down there, and you have all the hockey games with driftwood everywhere.
Yeah.
And you'll get the Canadians will come in every night, watch hockey games.
Beaver pops.
You can have CFL games on.
Yeah.
You could have...
still, that won't draw. Even if there's Canadians. CFL game's still a tough draw.
You could put NFL games on, but Canadians...
You put on the games when Getzlaf's playing for Saskatchewan, then...
Yeah.
When he's playing for Saskatchewan?
Well, Ryan Getzlaf's brother plays for
He?
Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
Is he still playing for the Rough Riders? Yeah.
He's a really good receiver.
Bobby Getzlaf.
Is he full of shit? Memory?
No, that's true. I don't think his name is Bobby.
It's not Bobby. It's Getzlaf. He's the other brother.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Chris Getzlaf.
Chris Getzlaf. Yeah.
Okay.
Slot back.
Yeah.
Catches some passes.
Every
some
time Damon
touchdowns.
speaks, I look at
He looks at
Dan
Dan for like
to try to find out if
Because
it's
it's
true.
really true. And sometimes I'm not even sure either. Why do you think I have the Google up most of the time?
It's a half truth, but I can't. Yeah, I think it.
It's Chris Getzlaf, and he's a receiver. He's really good.
And he's still playing.
He's about the same size as Ryan, so he's like 6'5" as well. And
Okay. Wow.
So you could put that game on, then Ryan Getzlaf and the Ducks would come down.
Only in the CFL can a white receiver succeed.
Steve Largent.
Okay.
Steve Largent was good in his day.
Okay. I mean, there are a couple, but they're little and they're grinders.
Who's that guy?
And he's got more
Wes
hair than his
Welker.
brother.
Yeah.
He's got not a lot. He's not the
Chris
prettiest
Getzlaf.
looking dude.
Oh yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Getzlaf.
He's
That's a
a-
Getzlaf right there.
Yeah, it's Getzlaf, Ed Green. Who's the? And there's Ryan, and what's the third Getzlaf? Brian Doyle Getzlaf.
Brian Doyle
Doyle
Getzlaf.
Getzlaf. Yeah.
That's an old podcast. If you've been listening to all of them, now we know you didn't pick the last year. You didn't sit there. I thought you would do research. You're like, oh man, I'm going to listen to every single
Murray
one.
Getzlaf. He's
Murray.
a bobsledder.
I watched a hockey game.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I got invited to tonight. My family has this every year. This time of year, they have a family skate and hockey game, and they invited Damon out as well. Dan,
I didn't get the invite actually.
yeah, you did.
Did
oh,
I?
if you didn't, I got the invite to invite you.
Okay.
I thought
Where's that at? The skate.
it's in North Van. Remember, over by Machosen. And,
Maybe they
Deep
said
Cove.
that at the end of the night. I can't.
Yeah, it was down in the basement.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe we had a few.
Yeah.
Maybe we were pretty deep into it by then.
Yeah.
But,
At the end of then, family skate because
turns into a hockey game about a half hour in, and then it gets it got a little bit serious. It gets a little serious every once in a while.
Some fighting and stuff like that.
You know, my
Your
brother-in-law.
dad pulls out a piece of driftwood and starts beating people up.
My brother-in-law hip checked me into the wall, and the door was open. I don't know if you've ever been hit into an open door.
I've hardly ever been hit, so let alone an open door.
I know he's supposed
That was
to.
that one. That was a
I have
yeah.
to get. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 50-50. Like I would destroy my body if I went out there because I'm not in hockey shape. But
Yeah.
What kind of
Are
shape
you gonna
are
go
you in?
tonight and skate?
I'm thinking no.
They're gonna call you all Hollywoody now, though.
Do you have your skates
I
and,
gave him
and,
some.
and a
I
helmet?
gave him a bunch of money for Christmas, maybe. What's that?
Do you have your stuff, or is this just
I
another
have my
way where you're
stuff.
going to get out of this challenge that you and I have? First guy out of the corner. We go in one
Yeah,
puck.
when's it gonna
One
happen?
puck, two guys. It could happen right now. We could leave right from here. I got blades in the car.
Clark asked me to do his podcast.
You doing
Is that
another?
Graham Clark?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't sound like you like to do that.
Is his office phone number?
It's the same thing he said when you asked him.
Oh.
It's, fuck, Damon asked me.
Oh,
To
actually, he canceled.
Oh.
All right, there you go. You got canceled from Graham's podcast. Wow, I guess we know you're on the downslope.
That's what this
Now
is.
it's
This is
the
a
question
question.
of the answer.
No, we know where
This
you
is
are
it.
now.
This is
Yeah.
the top of my career right this moment.
Right
Wow.
here.
Stop podcasting yourself. The first denial came in. Gig
Wow.
canceled.
You know, I'm supposed to do the.
Rodman wouldn't put up with that shit. Get
I
on
had
the
another
phone.
one. Check this out. So Monday, I'm supposed to record the Late Late Show. Drew Carey is the host, and today I got an email saying what time do I want? Is it alright if they pick me up at 3 to go to the studio to run my set in front of an empty room?
What?
Oh, and you said good?
I called my agent. I said no, and I said if they want me to run.
They don't
the
do that
set
on
with-
any other late night talk shows, do
I've
they?
never heard of that before in my life. And I said, but I'm running it for them Sunday at the Improv.
Yeah, with an audience.
That should
makes
be
sense.
good.
Yeah.
And they said, well, they just want you to run it in front of an empty room. And I said, well, they can have me run my set in front of their audience.
Yeah.
Or we can.
Why would they want you to run it in front of an empty?
Why?
Is it all just because it all got changed over? Craig Ferguson just left, so now they got
No, but I don't
new
understand
camera
what
guys.
they're
All
gonna
his
get.
camera crew left.
What are they going to get?
If they see you the night before, I guess maybe if they're going, we want the material, you could
They've approved
argue,
all the
but if
material.
they've already approved it, then they're going to watch your performance Sunday night.
Yeah.
So why, in case they have nobody laughing, they want to know how you handle these things? I don't know what the thinking is.
I don't think that helps me at all.
Will this have already come on by the time our podcasters listen to this?
Yeah, because
Is
you're
it
airing
live?
next Monday.
Yeah.
So this will come out on Wednesday.
It'll probably...
So people will know how you did.
People will know if I even did it. Like,
Yeah.
I might cancel.
If they say play an empty room.
If they say play an
You
empty
say
room...
Lachlan Patterson, don't play no empty rooms. Walk right out of there.
Broadman doesn't play no empty rooms.
Yeah.
No.
So no, I'm not gonna do it. I told my agent you can tell them whatever you want, but it just doesn't sound like that's gonna be productive for me.
Right.
If anything, it's gonna put me in a negative emotion going into recording.
Yeah, it's not productive, and I've
Yeah.
had to do it. You've had to
You
do
have?
it. Yeah.
You did it for CBC taping,
I
didn't
did for
you?
CBC taping. We're in the day. They made us run it. And I thought I saw you doing it at the last comic stand, the big empty theater. Did you do that? Was
Oh,
it?
the last comic standing,
Like
we
a mic?
did a room of the execs, but
Okay.
I got laughs out of
Yeah.
them.
We did that at for the Newfoundland Winter Festival. The people were there. But for a CBC one, we did for Richard Sile like this. We had to run it with nobody there, which was really awkward. But when you got to see the other two comics, because there were some other sort of acts like improv and that sort, it was hilarious.
It was funny.
When you sit in the back and watch it, because you see the guy do it, and then it cuts to the camp. They're practicing all their TV cuts, and then it just cut to empty seats. So you'd say the line, and they're like cut. So you'd see how they were getting ready to film it, and so in the back room, everyone had really big laughs.
Oh yeah, so they were enjoying it.
Well, not watching your perform, watching you have to perform in front of an empty crowd was hilarious for everybody.
But I can get that rehearsal thing, right? Where they want to know where you're doing things, so they have all the cuts planned. There's a certain amount of rehearsal. But when you're talking a late show or whatever like that, they have 4 cameras on you.
Yeah, if
And
you guys...
they can
if you
edit
guys
it
wanna-
after the fact.
Absolutely. Do we need to do a sound check? I'll be there for a sound check. But that would even be ridiculous to me because you are a professional fucking recording studio.
I would feel so silly, trying to do that. And even showcasing. I showcased for the Late Show with Ferguson a long time ago, and there was 4 people there. And I'm like, didn't even do it at the club. No, so it was at the Improv on a Tuesday night, and there was 4 people in the audience, and then the guy watching you, and you're like, how is this? This is horrible. How are you supposed to get John Roy, who got it, did it in another room, and there was maybe 6 or 8 people there, but he sold every bit like it was a sold out room, and he got the show. And I was like, oh, is that what are they doing that on purpose to see how you react in case?
Of course they are.
Yeah, I want to be on TV, but I want to be proud of myself. And if I'm on TV and I'm not proud of what I did, then I'm not. And I want to be on TV.
So we're gonna do an overtime here, or what?
Okay.
Trivia.
Awesome.
Last overtime trivia for Lachlan Patterson. Oh, you lost a Harry Rosen card there.
Oh, Aki Albert.
Okay, let's see if you do any better in this one.
All right.
Which NHL team?
Wait a minute. What do you mean better?
You did last time. You were 0 for 4.
Was
There's
I really?
only 3 questions. You went 0 for 4.
It's just automatic now. Every time he looks at me, and I'm like, I don't even know this one. We can't Google it. I can look it up. I can listen to that podcast.
No.
You might do okay on this one. You got a chance.
All right.
Which team won the NHL's weighted lottery in 2005 following a lost season due to lockout?
What is weighted lottery?
Well, they put the ping pong balls.
Some
in.
guys have a higher
Okay.
percentage.
Read it again now that I know what that means.
Okay, which team won the NHL's weighted lottery in 2005 following a lost season due to lockout? Anaheim, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Hartford, Quebec City, Los Angeles, Boston, or Chicago?
That's too many possibles.
You gotta know this
It's
one.
my
though.
new gang. That's how
I do?
You
Yeah.
should know this one.
Anaheim, Carolina, or Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Lost season. They get the #1 draft pick.
Oh, so we're talking about... Okay, so it's got to be Pittsburgh.
You got it!
Thank you.
Sidney Crosby.
With no clues, too. Very good. Well done.
Yeah, you gave me a clue.
Have a free Gatorade
You
and a
took
pair
out
of Reebok
Quebec
skates.
City and Hartford.
Well, I went and said...
I would have taken out Quebec City and Hartford myself, thank you.
They weren't even playing in 05.
Exactly.
Defunct teams. Okay.
All right.
Which of these players was chosen 3rd overall in the 1999 NHL entry draft?
Which, third overall in the 1989?
1999
1999.
entry draft. Henrik Sedin, Patrick Steffen, Daniel Sedin.
Oh, that's son of a bitch. That's a tough one.
It is.
It's got to be one of the Sedins, right? 99? Wow, they've been in the league 15 years, if that's true.
Yeah. Well, all these guys are from that year.
Well, I think Daniel Sedin
is the third guy. All right, it's Henrik. Turned out to be the captain. They fucked up the order. They draft those two in.
Yeah.
Took
Who
Daniel
knew that
before
Henrik has
Henrik.
more points now than Daniel, too.
That's what
Wow.
Henrik said. That's what motivated him to become a better player.
Better player,
was Daniel
getting
being picked ahead of him.
drafted.
He was born ahead of him.
Patrick Stefan was the number one
Bullshit.
draft.
I'm gonna show up Daniel for that. Yeah.
He's so
You should, if you ever get a
bullshit.
chance, ask him that question. Do you have more points and you work harder because you got drafted after and you always had to prove yourself?
Third overall pick.
When you get him on the show, after you get Donnelly on the show, ask him that.
Yeah.
All right. How many goals did the Canucks score at the Pacific Coliseum in the 1982 finals? 0, 1, or 2?
In the game 7, was it?
No, the whole finals.
The whole finals?
They got swept by the Islanders, so they only
Yeah.
played 2 games there.
I gotta give him 2 just because of the love.
1.
Shit.
Yeah.
Let's pick the medal.
Andy Schliebner.
So that's it? That's all
That's
I
it.
get?
That's all your questions. Yeah.
Oh,
We're going to wrap this up. So, but you can look for, are you got any dates coming up in Canada?
I'm trying to get more dates in Canada. It's really cool because after the show I did at the Playhouse, the promoter there wants to get a run across Canada going. So I told him I want to do it too.
Yeah.
We're going to try to find us little gaps in my tour down south to do that. And when we do, I'll post them online.
There you go, LachlanPatterson.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can check it out.
I'll still be opening for him on that tour.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'd
book
be
myself
awesome.
right
You
now.
gotta call
Boom, done.
Call every day.
Yeah.
See if he
15
needs an
minutes.
opener.
Every day.
If he can't find
Yeah.
somebody at the comedy club the
15
night
minutes
before.
and I'll do the in and out outro, so you don't have to hire the kid.
I'll tell you when I'm going to
Yeah.
do the put a crane in a pool so you can come in
Put a
watch.
crane in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come and do that.
All right. Well, you've been listening to Funnier and Gretzky with David and Dan. I'm Dan Quinn.
You've
David
snowed in.
Schroeder.
Snowed in.
Yeah, and snowed in. This will be starting when this comes out. We start on January 6th and finish February 7th in Vancouver at the Vogue.
And if you listen to this tonight, I'm in Saskatoon. Come on down to the park town.
Yeah.
I'm there right now.
Bye.
Funnier than Gretzky with Damon and Dan. Damon and Dan. Damon and Dan. Funnier than Gretzky with Damon and Dan.